Hello everyone and welcome again to this section that we call the CEA Spotlight, Controlled Environment Agriculture Spotlight. In this space we're able to analyze and discuss a little bit about research done by scientists, some articles we usually share in here. Today I have a very important article that is not a scientific article that is published in a magazine, but is a very useful article that I usually share a lot with my students and people that we provide consulting on, and it's about deficiencies on leafy greens, or specifically in this case for lettuce, but it's done by a scientist. It's one of my favorite scientists working with hydroponic lettuce. His name is Matson, and he wrote this article together with Tanya, Merrill, and it's about the symptoms that the plants develop when they have deficiencies. So this is a very complete article where you can see actually pictures, and I will be sharing the pictures here, or of how the plant looks when it's deficient in specific ingredients in our formula, meaning or nutrients. So when we manage nutrition in hydroponic systems, can be a little bit challenging in comparison to soil production, for example, because for leafy greens, it's very common to recirculate water in a closed hydroponic system like NFT system or deep water culture system. So it's common to recirculate water, and the nutrients will start to get imbalanced, right? Because the plant is taking, for example, potassium is taking away more quickly than, I don't know, like calcium, for example. So we have a tendency to have problems with nutrition if we don't know about how to regulate the levels. So for that, it's important obviously to take consideration measurements of the nutrient profile, electrical conductivity, pH in hydroponic system. Also the pH and electrical conductivity will change over time, and we need to check these like daily. So there are some challenges, of course, around hydroponics, but it's a really nice system. A lot of people use this system for producing leafy greens. So today we're going to learn about the deficiencies that can be developed in these systems when we are not providing a complete nutrient profile. So this was a very quick experiment done by Matson and also Tanya Merrill. And in this specific research, they evaluate the development of lettuce within several weeks on how they perform when specific nutrients were removed from the formula. So of course they first started by providing nutrition to their plants at the beginning for 1 week so the plant can establish and grow, and after that week they remove specific nutrients to see the response and capture the response for this specific article that, as I mentioned, is very useful because you can see pictures of calcium deficiency, of iron deficiency, magnesium deficiency. So let's see the results that they got. So let's start with nitrogen, which is one of the most important components of a nutrient solution. So they got this result in here, and in here we can see at the beginning they mentioned they found only chlorosis, which is the yellow color on the leaves. But after weeks, like the second week or the third week, they noticed also that the size of the lettuce was smaller. So we have two symptoms. Then we have chlorosis and also a reduction of the size. Then we have phosphorus, which we know is a very important nutrient for energy. So at the beginning, they found a difference, of course, on size of the plants, because the plants without phosphorus, they were smaller. So that was the first symptom that the plants showed. But after 4 weeks, they also noticed some chlorosis and necrosis. So meaning that the plant is getting weak in this case. Here you can see the pictures. So now let's move to potassium. Potassium is one of the ingredients that the plant is taking up more quickly. So if you have a closed system, meaning you are recirculating water, you could see potassium deficiency if you are not working on like having a good nutrient profile. So which are the symptoms? Here we have a photo of the symptoms. They notice in the first weeks they notice marginal chlorosis and some necrosis too, like some spots of necrosis. And after several weeks, like 4 weeks, they noticed obviously more necrosis, and they also noticed that the leaves were cooling a little bit. So this was like a more severe symptom. But at the beginning, you will only notice like some spots with necrosis, and it could be also along with some chlorosis. Then they did the same experiment with calcium, And calcium is actually one of the nutrients that is very common to have deficiencies because of the environment. You know, if the velocity, the air velocity is not okay, you will have calcium deficiency. If humidity is too high or temperature is too high, you can also have calcium deficiency. And in that condition, calcium is there. Calcium is on your formula. The plant is not able to take up calcium. So in this case, they remove calcium from the nutrient formula, and they mentioned that the symptoms were way more aggressive by removing calcium directly from the formula in comparison that just having the problem because of the environment. So they saw necrotic tissue on the area of where the plant is growing, which is very normal for calcium deficiency. But they noticed by the third week this section was completely dead. So it was completely dead. Here are the pictures. And as I mentioned, the symptoms were way more aggressive in comparison to a situation where we don't have the movement of calcium because of the environmental conditions. And then we have magnesium, which can have symptoms that can be confounded sometimes with potassium. So after 10 days, they noticed that the plant was developing intraveinal chlorosis and also marginal necrosis. So this was at the beginning. And then after several weeks, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they noticed also more necrosis on the tissue and also more chlorosis on the tissue. Then we have sulfur, which is also a very important ingredient in your formula. At the beginning, they just noticed some chlorosis on the plant, but after several weeks, they noticed also a reduction on the size. So it was a problem of chlorosis and also a problem with the size of the crop. Then we have iron, and this is a very important deficiency because I mentioned already that pH can change also in hydroponic systems. Usually by the uptake of nitrate, you will see an increase on the pH of the water. So if you are not controlling pH and your pH is going up, you will notice problems of iron deficiency because when you have bad pH, so a pH that is not good for your plant, the plant will not be able to take up iron. So it's very common to have iron deficiency if you are not working properly on the management of pH. Which are the symptoms? Here we have a photo. You will see chlorosis. So this is a problem of chlorosis, very general and very particular. I mean, it's easy to recognize. So if you have a closed system and you're not working well with pH, you will see something like this. And you will see that also for strawberries or any other crop with a problem of pH. And last but not less important, we have boron. Here we can see the deficiency of boron. Boron is very important in the development of new cells. So of course, one of the first issues that they saw by removing boron was a problem with the areas of growth of the plant. They found out that the root was way smaller, and also they saw problems on the unfolding of the leaves from the area, the growing tip of the lettuce. So these are some of the most important nutrients that we should manage correctly inside of our growing systems. And if you are willing to know like where can I find a good nutrient solution that I can use for leafy greens, here is a very good option. In Hort Americas, we manage a nutrient solution that is specifically developed for leafy greens. A lot of growers use this formula with good results, and it will provide a correct profile. So in here you can see the profile that you should expect in terms of nutrition for lettuce. And it depends, of course, on the source. There are different sources, there are different opinions, but usually you will see something similar to this in terms of the nutrition profile for leafy greens. And of course, you need to pay attention to if you're working with a closed system, even more attention to your nutrient profile, because that will change over time. If you want to learn a little bit more about how to manage the profile over time, we also offer some short courses where you can learn how to do the calculations. If you need to modify, for example, if you need to add more potassium or reduce a specific nutrient that can be accumulated, like calcium, for example. You can learn that information from our short courses, and also you can download a free guide that we have available on our website. I will make sure that the link is on the description, so you can download this guide and find also very useful information about nutrient management. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the information. Let me know if you have any comment, questions. Let us know which are the problems that you usually see when growing lettuce hydroponically. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue learning about CA, Controlled Environment Agriculture. Remember, my name is Karla Garcia, Hort Americas Technical Service and Consultant. See you on the next video.